Well, it looks like the moon is avoiding me tonight as well. I botched the last reading of this. There's a couple words I got wrong, so I'm going to pick it up with line 369. But first I wanted to re-invoke the dedication and say something about it. This is basically dedicated to my muse. Everybody knows who she is. Of course, I'm talking about Valerie Plame here. This goes back to when I was 12 years old and my first real kiss. And I don't know what brought it out. There was some tickling involved too. Like I said, that's a different story. But it really caught me surprised, and it was just a peck on the cheek. And it's kind of like all I could do is stand there and say thank you, you know. But you know, this goes back to it's like I said, July 14th was the day that I met her back in like 73 or 74. And, you know, that's always been like a special day for me. And it's like to have that forever wrecked by her name getting leaked. You know, it's just something that I want her to know that she's loved and appreciated. You know, and like I said, there's all, you know, the whole story is never going to be told because it's classified. But, you know, I just wanted to say that, you know, that's basically where the dedication to the muse comes from, you know. Her lips that whisper like reeds on the wind, wet with moisture sprung from a well. Deep within, whispers like the petals of an iris, the reedy blossom which weathers and is not trodden down for long. Well, like I said, that, you know, there's well, it's just trying to put that into words, like what it felt like, you know. But and like I said, it's just a peck on the cheek, you know, because I was 12 years old. I mean, you know, it gets misconstrued and stuff like that. But you know, that's something that you know, it'll always be a special thing for me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And to hear the way some people talk about her hurts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, because you know, I just know what a beautiful person she is. And like I said, that's my muse that I invoke with you know, the poem. But it is a satire about Robert Hansen, so the humor does get kind of dark. Okay, line 369. This is after Catania and Fred, you know, who's the satire proxy for Robert Hansen, you know, Fred Thompson, 2 S's, after they find the goblins in the woods. That foul-filthed wretch from my sword he will catch, hell in its blitherous summation. This, I said skin last time, and I don't know where the heck that was coming from, but it's supposed to be sword. So, you know, that foul-filthed wretch from my sword he will catch, hell in its blitherous summation. Contemptuous boar will drill him galore with spectacle and runny pervasion. His innards will litter, his blood it will glitter, and sputter and spout all the dell. Will mince them pell-mell and ring their fell bell, swollen egos and all just as well. For who has got pride, Fred wondered inside, and confidence abounding to laugh? For nigh has got mine, for to ebb in good time, for to wager I must be quite daft. A bluster went she, like a screaming banshee, alerting the foe of her presence. Too startled to fly, they gazed on, doe-eyed, perhaps mesmerized by fluidic effervescence. The peace of the dell blew by as well, churned by tumultuous wake. A sight to behold, she flew through the wold, imbued not for sobriety's sake. The fifth gore, I'm told, had freight to unload, or yonder beneath hollow tree. Catania knew not whereto he had got, nor that he happened to be. Claudia moved fast as he fingered his pants, his breeches still slung to his knees. With fond serpent's blade she glid through the glade, impaling the wretch with some ease. The eagle did cry as he plucked out one eye, the goblin too shocked to mime utterance. The wolf-sire knew best, having passed his last test, where to best rests his tooth-frothy countenance. For bleed they too quick when jugular is bit, violating vitals keeps victuals far fresher. A twist of the groin and goblin exploined, exclamation of haste and high tenor. How fortunate for Izzard to still have his gizzard, his heart still a beat neath his leather. With fortune bequeathed he fell to his knees, though blinded, no omnipotent beggar. When faced with the knife he pled for his life, and offered to share in his treasure. He rose with some measure, yet not out of leisure, of business and not out of pleasure. My life which I treasure to this does not measure, holding a thing from his pack. Of riches of yore, of such I abhor, what tattered and leathery scrap. What verse did he sing as he flaunted his thing, with marks to be held as significant? With relevance to bide this tattered old hide, was meaning implied more than figurative. A fish wrap it be, of loins not to see, perhaps, but view closer still. For upon this old scrap there be but a map to an ancient and treacherous hill. Uttered his visage through bloody vile grimace, more so as his socket ran red. A road to the end mux Feasonside land, and I could have stayed home and in bed. Thought Fred as he listened to the monody of Izzard, a showman, but to pander a dead horse. For to buy I would gather was horse far too lathered, or riddled with it with worms beyond recourse. A song and a dance, but mere happenstance, or had Izzard a genuine item. The meat does taste good, know well and I should, the only good reason to buy them. What sausage I'd wager, but your life's still in danger. If the horse still has kick, I'll consider. Catania do bind him, lest he sprout extra eyes, for worms I'll bet fester his withers. Now climb to the top, don't slip on the rocks, the ascent 'twould be treachery enough. Be foolish you may, but you will die today. We'll camp at the top of the bluff. For gathering wool, a push and a pull, as they climbed up the craggy cliff face. What wool for to gather? One slip and you'll splatter. Slow progress like running in place. Of sheep I do mean, no wool to be seen, of shorn hoof and horn still none to see. Neither the serpent, dispatched with fell purpose, of sheep were his innards too clean. Of sheep were his innards all too clean. To embark without thought upon quest not quite wrought, what purpose had brought this to be? A flight and a fright to fly off in the night, lacking evidence to support any theory. Of evil apparent, conjurations with merit, illusions of illusionary guise. Of Robanth, I wonder, to perpetrate this blunder, for he to foolishly waylay the wise. Of Eldamar dead, was he too misled, removed was he for his wisdom's restraint. In this matter myself I would batter, behooved I be for condolence's sake. The falls in the distance sprayed quite a mist, who spoke through this map in absentia. Beneath all the sludge and dirt was a smudge, and a name, it was Mithralgar Casmensia. A general of yore who yearned to explore, proceeded had he ascended these heights. History does tell to those who can spell and read such stories of such wonderful sights. According to lore, 3 centuries afore... According to lore, 3 centuries before the calamity of 533, from Zyzex he came for fortune and fame, and to survey the empire's northern reach. From Reg then north through the border hills, of course, to trade with the lands beyond Black River, to finish the road to the dwarf holds, I'm told, so the goods they bought could be delivered. A treaty in compliance with Sutton held in alliance. They turned to the Anor-Aduath, to the Zinefter-Thel where Orduath dwell, their righteous might and their worth for to prove. To Ramadoa he went, where he the king met, quite well, in the mountains of the north. From some ancient text he found his next step, the kingdom of the dogmen, of course. Of Jackal Mountain I'm sure to have never have learned in all of my life's experience. What was it he sought upon this his last jaunt, of epics and lost souls' deliverance? For wrong and for right, but one more night, of certainty, perhaps better to know. Upholding no prejudice, we'll head for this precipice, above there be landmarks to show. Although, be this for real, we'll exhibit less zeal, till wary you are of the dangers. With weight I implore Catania no more, for how could she call herself ranger? Impetuous pursuit, with arrogance to boot, our mastery ends at this river. Be quiet in mind, or you'll lose that behind to beasts that would dwell beyond thither. Can't leave you behind, you'll do in good time, but think of us for you run rampant. You cut to the quick, and we'll be in the thick, would you pit us against too much to handle? A whisper above went Izzard, no dove, a pigfowl for the mist far below. I do have a hunch that he must have went crunch upon the rocks that the mists do not show. Dampened by mists and cascading hiss, and blind in the eye when he dived. Oops, there went Izzard, so much for that gizzard, he couldn't have possibly survived. Can goblins fly? Asked Amber reply to thoughts far too loud in his head. I don't reckon so, though I really don't know, to himself admitted miserable Fred. We'll see him again, Esmeralda then said, too well do they see in the dark. A third eye in mind, replied Claudia from behind, to view with and with which to mark. Of fairness in trade, what bargain was made to offset such grisly disfigurement? Too early to tell, yet doubts I would sell, if this could be but some bewitchment. Know now, though, do I, that they all share this eye, and all of them share in its vision. For enemies we now are, they'll all see this mark, and crave vengeance on behalf of fell Izzard. Then out it must come. Claudia, can it be done, without the assistance of that wizard? Could this be the reason for wretched foul treason, and the death of old Eldamar the Magnificent? Right now I can't, but I will try a chant. I'm not yet an enchantress of skill. The mark I do feel atop of this hill, and growing it is greater steel. That means they're close, so said the blue ghost, from the dreams I had seen just before. Makes sense now they do, my winks were too few, what bane I could hardly ignore. There in the haze amidst stony maze could be only the Jackal Mountain. True to the map on rugged old scrap, it rose from the ground like a fountain. But what of the name? No contrivance was plain. In no way it resembled a dog. Camp now we must, for I feel in my gut, tonight there will be quite a fog. And I'll stop right there. Like I said, I don't think the moon's going to pay a visit tonight. It was out earlier, but it looks like it's gone behind the thing. Yeah, no, the characters, like I said, they're not really based on any one particular person. And like I said, the poem is a satire. So, I mean, there's a lot going on with this. It's going to mean different things to different people, and if somebody gets out of it, that's my whole purpose. And like I said, I'd already started writing this before 2003 when Valerie's name got leaked, so I had the basic stuff I had written back in 1999, and that part's, that was in book one, fair maiden lie, due to cry and perils fraught with woes, and ebb and light and somber fright against the night she rode. Would Stallion's fate by moonlit lake where beasts of night had risen? He fought well and broke the spell of fright the maiden was in. And, like I said, that just came to me, and, there was a lot going on in 1999, with everything going on. It's like I said, self-expression's a good thing. I mean, it's your right under the First Amendment, and, when you can't say things, sometimes, writing, it's a good way to put things down, so that it can be revisited at a later date. That's about all I can say. I better stop here. I'm at 12 minutes, so I hope everybody has a good night.